Kia ora whānau. Welcome to the Guna Hub. This is our review show of the season so far, whilst we're on international break. Before we begin our show, please like and subscribe to our channel. We love you. So man, international break, how have you been? Looking fresh, fit and healthy?
Yeah, health-wise okay, but you know, it kind of sucks when you don't have football, you don't have Arsenal to watch every weekend or every few days actually. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, been alright. Got a mo. That's the only thing that's really changed.
Yeah.
Dirty mo.
That is one ugly mo.
Wow. Thanks, mate.
But you know, let's get on to the football.
Yeah.
Let's get on to Arsenal.
What today's about? We wanna go through, do a check. You know, was like our third international break already. 12 games in.
I mean, before we begin, that's ridiculous. Every 3 or 4 games, there's an international break, and
So I know it's crazy. And then we've had 12 games in the Premier League.
it's disgusting. In Arteta's words,
we've had 5 in the Champions League. We're top of the group in the Champions League. We're third in the Premier League. So, what do you reckon's been good so far?
Yeah, so let's start off with the good stuff. Good stuff is we're winning games.
Definitely.
We're third in the league. We're third in the league without playing good football.
We've only lost 1 game.
Only lost
That too was controversial.
in the Premier League, yep. And yeah, even that one probably shouldn't have lost. It's kind of out of our hands in a way. We've lost 1 Champions League game, 1 Cup game, and 1 Premier League game. So 3 losses out of the 16, 17 odd games we've played. Isn't bad, not bad. Third in the Premier League, top of our Champions League group, which is fantastic. And you know, it looks like something's happening, something's finally gelling together. We look a lot more solid. We look like we're controlling the games better. It looks like, you know, Arteta's finally sort of maturing up a bit too and figuring out different ways to control the game. Defensively, we look solid. You know, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko now again back into form. Tomiyasu, Ben White, Kiwior, all of our defenders look great. I think there's a big positive for us, especially last year. We shipped in way too many goals. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. Anything I missed out?
I think that's the main difference. I mean, the main thing that's been awesome this year is that, you know, the way we've controlled games. And the other thing probably that you didn't say is we've always stayed in games. You know, like games like the Chelsea one, also the Man City one. You know, we kind of stayed in there. There was patches in those games where we weren't the best team on the park.
Yeah.
Even the ones we lost, like, you know, with Lens, especially like away from home, we were still in the game. You know, we started winning, and then obviously they had a better performance, but that's been quite different to last year. Like even like the Chelsea game was a perfect example. You know, 2-0 down and out, but we find a way. So I feel like that's been our biggest strength at the start of the season, is the way we've kept in games.
Yeah,
you know,
to find a way.
Yeah, we found ways.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. We're getting the results despite some of our terrible performances. Chelsea's a good example of how we let them perform like that. It's beyond me, but
I mean, we weren't the best team that day,
but we came back with the draw, like you said. We stayed in it, managed to get a result of some sort, a draw. Yeah, and you're right. Even that City game, man, we just stayed in it. It's not like we were outright the better team, but it was quite even. We stayed in it and we nicked a goal.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, we've had quite a few injuries. I don't know if you want to list them, but, you know, our injury list is quite large, like, you know, and some key players out. And yeah, the other guys have stepped in and they've performed, man. Our signings, especially Rice, he's been the pick of the bunch.
Amazing,
you know, his price tag seems like a bargain. And he's transformed our midfield in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. Our squad has been stepping in and doing fantastically. Just like I mentioned before, all of our defenders, all of them have been rotated in and out at some point, and they're all doing brilliantly. Jorginho's come in. He made that mistake against Spurs, unfortunately, but other than that, he's been pretty good. Trossard, amazing.
Awesome.
Every time he comes on, he had one game where he started where he didn't perform, but other than that, again, amazing. Martinelli's amazing. I mean, we know these guys are amazing, but you know, our squad is looking better, and Vieira stepped in with a couple of assists. As well whenever he's come in. So yeah, squad's performing well.
We've got
exactly what you want.
Like a good solid squad. And everyone's doing well when they get given a chance. Which wasn't always the case. You know, last year Arteta seemed to stick to the same team as much as possible. Whereas this time around he seems to, you know, tweak a little bit every other game almost.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, you know, that we're getting the results and we're still winning. And we're winning despite the injuries. We're winning with, you know, different people stepping in. And one good thing that I've also noticed is that we're beating the teams that we should be beating. You know, maybe West Ham aside in that cup game and Lens aside. You know, we're beating the teams that we should be beating. Which is good, you know. And I think last year if we didn't perform, like if we didn't go all guns blazing and perform like at top level, we wouldn't get the results. Which is where we failed.
Exactly. So I mean, that's the good stuff. I mean, at the end we'll do a
rating.
Rating. But what do you reckon's been not so good?
Not so good. Day? I think you start with the not so good. You're the head.
I'm the leader. What I reckon, I mean, obviously we've already touched on it. Like the injuries, they do still hurt. I mean, especially like for me, Partey's one. I feel like you know, we're kind of really testing our patience now with this guy. You know, he's always injured. But when he is available, man, like we look like a different team.
Yeah, well, that City game. He changed it when he came on in that City game.
Honestly, I still have that as a dream that, you know, he's gonna be fit and healthy, and he's gonna play next to Rice, and we're just gonna absolutely destroy teams in the midfield. But you know, never seems to happen. The other big one for me is probably, like we've already talked about that too, is like we've changed the way we sort of play. And for me, sometimes it's not as fun to watch as it was last year, because we have that sort of more controlled approach. We're not, you know, trying to attack all the time. So we're not finding like, you know, we're not kind of opening teams up as much as we were last year.
We're not creating the chances. Right?
So, and the other thing is we haven't been that ruthless in front of goal either. So as much as we stay in games because we're controlling the game, the other teams stay in the game too because we don't actually put them away. That's been the two big ones.
And that's key, because if we're not creating as many chances, you know, if you don't put them away, the few chances you get, then
and then like little things like the bad call in the Newcastle game, and then, you know, we were controlling the game start to finish, and then they had a shit call, we lost the game. You know, at the end of the day, it's because we didn't create enough chances, and we didn't take the ones we did get away.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think our style of play has changed so much from last season because we're trying to control the games. It looks like, at least from our end, but it's a little bit harder to watch. It's a little bit harder to get up at 3 a.m, you know, on a Sunday or Monday to watch these games because it doesn't excite you. But, you know, in a way, if you're getting the results, it doesn't matter. But, you know, I am finding myself more frustrated every time I watch, because every time there's a pass on or there's an opportunity to go on through to goal or take a shot, we're not doing it. And when you're like, you know, one eye open watching the game at 3:30 in the morning and you're seeing this, you know, your blood starts to boil again. So, but yeah, that and the consistent injuries, you know, Jesus seems to be injured all the time. Partey seems to be injured all the time. And now Odegaard's been out for a little bit, which is concerning. I'm pretty sure Saliba is still carrying some sort of injury with the end of the season that he had with the back problem. because I don't think he had surgery, so it's not like it's you know.
Disappeared.
Yeah, it
Just
hasn't
strengthened.
disappeared. Yeah. So, injuries are still hitting us. That hurts because, Timber, Jesus, Partey, if these guys were fit, can you imagine what more we could do in these games when we have those players fit?
Yeah, definitely.
That and the decision making, I think, by Arteta in some games, for me, it's not so good because he doesn't use the players that he signed. Like, for instance, Reece Nelson, the guy can't even get a kick of the ball. Like, he signed a new contract with us. We made him stay. And then Arteta doesn't use him?
Yeah.
So, yes, that, and then, like...
Ramsdale.
The keeper situation, absolutely, yeah. It's just shocking.
Like especially after a couple of the rare performances, if everyone was talking about it, why is Ramsdale not getting a sniff? Like,
or at least chance to get his shirt back. I don't know what's happened behind the scenes. From everything I've seen and read and heard from Ramsdale's dad as well in the interviews he's done, doesn't seem like he's done anything wrong. And he's just been kind of dropped without a reason given to him.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Like, it happens in sports and football especially. Managers drop you without giving you a reason. But then he hasn't really gotten a chance to, to be sharp and to prove himself again. So that one, Arteta's use of subs. And then sometimes some things that he does, like Partey at right back, that was...
Hey, work the treat.
I mean, it's not like he done it for only one game. He did it for more than one game.
Yeah.
And it didn't work, which is why it was confusing me. But
sort of worked. Yeah.
And then I think there's opportunities elsewhere for him to do things like Zinchenko in the midfield. Maybe you got Tomiyasu there, so that and sometimes his insistence on not using the substitutes in games where we're really struggling or looks like we're struggling to create opportunities or score goals. You're keeping the same attacking players on. You'll have Trossard on the bench, but you won't bring him on till like the 85th minute. Stuff like that.
No, I definitely agree. And then probably the Havertz situation too. Like,
that's another one.
Yeah, I don't know. The verdict's up there still with Havertz, and we seem to keep giving him minutes. We haven't really got much out of him. That's probably been most of the negatives. Anything else?
No, not really. Not really too much to complain about. Just our style of play and some of the decision making.
So overall, now that we've listed everything down, do you want to give us a rating, man? You go first.
So far
this season, out of 10?
6.5.
Fair rating. I was gonna go 7.
Yeah.
We've done quite well thus far. It's worked. Whatever Arteta's tried, although it has been hard to watch at times. A little bit frustrating with the injuries and some performances, but also on the flip side of that, some really good performances. So, what do you expect when the boys come back? Just quickly, bit of more the same. Hopefully, we'll get our injured players back.
Yeah, I think I just expect us to have a bigger squad, really. But that's about it.
Yeah,
I don't think much is gonna change. Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah, we're gonna be in the. We've qualified for the Champions League.
Almost,
pretty much round of 16, and then let's go with the Premier League, man. Like, I reckon we gotta come back, continue our winning ways.
Yeah. Keep winning. That's
and keep putting that pressure on City, who are on top.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, you Gunners.